Hi, shalom everyone. I thought I'd do a special edition over here, continuing this series of learning about the Rabbanim of yesteryear. Now, we're going to concentrate on tonight the author of the great book, the Pri Chadash. His name himself was Rabbi Hezekiah da Silva, Zechet Tzadik Lebracha. He was actually born in Livorno in Italy, I believe, and was very, very well traveled. We're going to learn that he would actually become a great rabbi also in Holland later on in his life. He was actually the son-in-law of the famous Dayan, the Jewish judge, Rabbi Mordechai Raphael Malachi, also who was another one of the great rabbis of yesteryear. He himself was born, I believe, in the year 1656, and there's varying opinions when he passed away. According to one opinion, he passed away in 1698. According to another opinion, he passed away in the year 1695. In fact, there was another opinion that said he was born in the year 1659. But be it as may, he was a great posek. He would become a shadar, shluchei de Rabbanan, as we call it, shluchei de Rabbanans. Usually would be very well traveled, going from their locale and going to other countries to teach and to raise funds for their designated areas. It was left for very, very prestigious people, because in those days we learned that to travel wasn't easy. It's not like now you can take a flight. It was a 1 month, a 2 month, a 3 month trip back in the day, depending on the traveling that one would have to do. So he was born in an area called Livorno in Italy. Very, very interesting. This is, I think, by port of the beach. I think in part of Italy, I think right next to the area called Tuscana over there. And remember, Livorno itself had a great Jewish Torah history also itself, especially it had a famous printing house over there. And he came from, as we said before, he came from great heritage also, from what we explained. Livorno, I think, to be honest, the full title in English is Livorno Grand Duchy of Tuscany, if I'm not mistaken. And I think when he was about 20 years of age, he was around 16, in the year 1679, depending on what year he was born on. That varies on the age, because we haven't got the accurate detail, I haven't got necessary per se. He left Livorno and moved to Jerusalem at that stage in time. Then, at that point in time, it was Ottoman Syria. Let's say, to give it its full title, Damascus Eyalet. Over there, he attended a famous yeshiva of another great rabbi who I believe we've spoken about, Rabbi Moshe Galante, who was actually the chief rabbi of Damascus, especially I think during the late 18th century. He learned there for 10-year period, if I'm not mistaken, over there. And in the year 1689, Rabbi Galante passed away. So he must have been a rabbi at the end of the 17th century. So just to correct myself there. And after he passed away, Rabbi da Silva succeeded him as Rosh Yeshiva, the head of that yeshiva also. He was also very well traveled. He would travel all over Europe to raise funds for this prestigious yeshiva in Jerusalem. And I think in the year 1691, Rabbi da Silva went to Amsterdam. And he actually received it even over there to become the city's Sephardi rabbi. It was a position which he refused for various different reasons also, which there's excellent sources from where I'm looking on. They explore about that. And he began at that point in time printing his work, the famous Torah work called the Pri Chadash, which was actually a commentary, a famous commentary which we still use very much nowadays on the Yoreh Deah, on the Shulchan Aruch, Code of Jewish Law itself, respectively. In fact, there were many, many wealthy Jews from Holland, from Amsterdam, who offered to finance the publication itself. I believe it was published in the year 1691, and many people, the great European Torah scholars, saw this as a monumental contribution to the world of halacha. And he actually stayed in Amsterdam that specific year itself, which was after this amazing Torah work. I remember when I was learning my rabbinic exams, me and Maxhabruta was studying the Pri Chadash as one of the main commentators over there. And on his way back, because he was traveling, it wasn't easy to go back to Israel, so he stopped off over in Egypt over there, and he spent a period of time there also. And he spoke about the various book that he had over there. And the people in Cairo at the time, the rabbis of Cairo at the time, didn't necessarily, they questioned him with regards to the book and everything else about the just the entries of the book. But Rabbi Avraham Halevi, he gave it, I believe, a very, very good haskama. And he wasn't actually acquainted to him personally, but Rabbi Abraham Levi at a point in time, who was a 17th century rabbi and Kabbalist, he gave it this famous, amazing book, the approval itself, respectively. And it's actually interesting. When he arrived back in Jerusalem at a later stage in time, Rabbi Hezekiah opened the doors of the famous yeshiva called the Yeshivat Bet Yaakov. He secured the ongoing support for the yeshiva. I think there was a famous Netherlands, Dutch philanthropist of the name Israel Jacob Pereira, who was, I think, while he was in Amsterdam, himself the rabbi was, they formed a friendship over there. And I think at one stage in time, and because for Hakarat Tov, and to give Pereira some great honor, the yeshiva was renamed the Bet Jacob Pereira. I hope I pronounced the name correctly in of itself. So Rabbi de Silva took a great interest there was a discussion at that point in time between two different rabbis of Rabbi Moses Hagiz and Judah Viga, respectively, over there. Also, these were two different rabbis in Europe, I believe, during that period of time while he was alive. He passed away, I think, only at the young age of 39 years of age in the year 1698. Remember, I'm not 100% sure on the exact date when he was born and passed away. There were differing opinions from where I'm looking at the moment, and also the date of his Hilula. I'm not 100% sure on that also. He was buried in Har HaZeitim. This is called the Mount of Olives Cemetery in Jerusalem, respectively. It's actually interesting. Rabbi da Silva's wife's name was Rabbanit Chanat da Silva. She was actually the sister, I believe, of the wife of Rabbi Moses Hagiz also. I think in the year 1683, so at that stage in time, he was probably somewhere in his 20s. They had a son who would later on become Rabbi David de Silva. He actually became known as the Pre-Hadas, not the Pre-Hadash, the Pre-Hadas. Something very similar. So let's explore some of the great works of Rabbi de Silva over here. It's actually, we spoke about the famous book, the Pre-Hadash, which was based on the Code of Jewish law. It wasn't necessarily accepted by all the rabbis at the time, all the halachis, as we spoke about in Cairo. It was not accepted by everyone over there. And I think Rabbi Yonatan Eibeshitz, another really great rabbi from Europe, quotes him, if I'm not mistaken, also. And the Pre-Megadim, Rabbi Yosef Te'omim, also quotes him very much. In current day, Pre-Chadash is printed in the standard edition of the Shulchan Aruch, which is when you come in Shulchan Aruch and you can see all different commentaries on it. It's very much featured in it also. The Pre-Torah, a work on Shulchan Aruch by the Orach Chaim HaKadosh, I believe, he discusses the rulings of Rabbi da Silva also. He was also the author of another great Torah book called the Hayim, which we call naturally in English Living Waters, which contained collections on various Gemara treatises, and I think the Yad of Maimonides also, and there's several responsible also over there. Pre-Hadash's reported over was supplemented by a second and third part edited by his son Rabbi David da Silva also, which is very, very interesting. I think the work also in of itself, this great book, it had approbation of the chief authorities of Amsterdam, I think between the years of 1706 to 1730. And Rabbi David da Silva expressly states that he was a teacher at Jerusalem, not necessarily a rabbi, he called himself, but despite this, he was, I think, considered. Some people claim he was actually the chief rabbi of Jerusalem, and he himself, Rabbi David da Silva, passed away in the year 1740, which is very interesting. I think many people quote him, including the famous Chida, who we've spoken about before, and various different other great rabbanim also. I think Rabbi Abraham Moses Lunks also does mention him, many other great rabbis, and we're not too sure when exactly is his Hilula. He passed away at the age of 39 years of age and was buried in Israel, in Jerusalem, respectively. And there's actually some really, really good paintings of him if you look online, which I very much recommend everyone to do. And please watch over all the previous videos. We've nearly covered 300 videos of the great Rabbanim of yesteryear. So please subscribe to the channel. I'm wishing you all a fantastic day.